It stands for the Regional Transportation Authority. If passed, it could encompass 4 counties: Lake, LaPorte, Porter, and St. Joe County. Creates 5 boards, gives one of the boards the power to pass taxes, will take over all of the bus systems in Lake and Porter County, and further would take over the running of the South Shore and any future South Shore expansion. Absolutely not. I think that we need to be very concerned about public transportation. I think the emphasis in Porter County should be on on-demand rides for seniors and disabled and so forth. I don't think we have the population in Porter County that justifies us having buses going all over the county, except for on-demand rides. It's going to mean more taxes. It's going to, if we're involved in it, we're going to be involved in these boards. One of these boards has the power to tax. The amount of money they're planning to tax for what they're planning to do is not enough. So it's not only going to be an initial tax, but there will be more and more taxes. The only organization that has come out in favor of this at this time is the Regional Development Authority, which has really pushed this. The people that wrote the legislation, Representative Soliday and Representative Dobas, have been strangely silent in supporting it. And really, there's been no public organization that's come out in favor of it except the Regional Development Authority. This legislation has provision in it to pass a tax. There would be no reason for the legislation unless it was to get more taxes, because the legislation can't take over all these bus systems and operate them without operating money. The RTA, or the Regional Transportation Agency, has been pushed all along by business interests, especially in Lake County, that are interested in getting the South Shore extended to Lowell. So yes, that has been one of the main reasons that it's been pushed. Absolutely not. The opposition to the RTA, or the Regional Transportation Authority, is because it's poor legislation. It will result in tax after tax after tax, and it'll really change the style of living we do have here in Porter County. 4 counties, Lake, LaPorte, Porter, and St. Joe, were written into the legislation and supposed to vote November 3rd. Only Porter and St. Joseph County are actually holding elections, and I'm glad they are, because it's going to give people a chance to come out and give their opinion on this issue. I am sure that within days after the legislature meets again, they'll take away the opportunity for any more referendums on this issue. Well, the real insane part of the legislation is that, for example, if Lake County approved the RTA and if St. Joe County approved the RTA, a district would be created, but it would only include those 2 counties. So it would have a county up in South Bend and a county here in Lake County, and the area in between would not be involved. The Porter County Board of Commissioners, I am sure, will vote to hire legal counsel to fight this in the courts as long as we can.
What would your basis of your fight be?
That the legislation is based simply on trying to force us to do something in Porter County rather than legislation that affects the whole state, and there's a prohibition in the Constitution from that, of the Indiana Constitution, from that type of legislation. One of the reasons that the RTA, or the Regional Transportation Authority, is being pushed is because the V-Line in Valparaiso costs about $700,000 a year to operate, and only takes in less than $30,000 a year in fares plus a check from Valparaiso University. The legislation provides that if passed, the Regional Bus Authority would take over all bus systems, whether they be inside cities, V-Line, or outside cities, Chicago Express in Lake and Porter County. Absolutely not. People that oppose the RTA, I think, oppose taxes when they don't think that there is a great demand or need for the services the taxes would pay for. As I've said many times, You know, one of the best things we could do is have 10 kids in school, in each school class, rather than 20 or 30. Have twice as many police officers in every town. But we can't afford everything we want, and and this is an example of an area where we just can't afford to be spending all kinds of money on a service that, at least in Porter County, will not be used that much. It's going to be very hard to do that because you're going to have this board. Maybe Porter County will have one elected official on that board. Maybe that elected official will be a county official, or maybe they'll be from a city or town. So it's going to be very hard. The voters in Porter County might show their dissatisfaction with this one individual, but that would have very little effect on a board that encompasses 4 counties.